the threat of communism spreading was definitely a real concern for the United States, and but they knew that getting involved in Vietnam was going to be a struggle, and so there was no real reason for us to get involved at this juncture. However, when there was an incident that happened in the Gulf of Tonkin, that's what gave them the opening. And so the United States alleges, and when we had battleships in the Gulf of Tonkin trying to patrol the area, and this is the area that is in Vietnam, is that our battleships were attacked by North Vietnamese forces. Allegedly, now we still don't know what's going on. We don't know if our ships were being the instigators or the North was actually starting to antagonize us. There's still a lot of unknown details about this incident, and it occurred 60 years ago. But nevertheless, what was alleged is that the USS Maddox was attacked by North Vietnamese forces, and there got damage to the ships, and we viewed this as an act of aggression. Now, what President Johnson wanted is that he wanted the ability to send U.S. troops in a combat zone, maybe as peacekeeper, as interventionists, without formally declaring war. And Congress was able to give President Johnson this broad authority. They were able to give him this autonomy called the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution, where President Johnson was able to get U.S. troops, send them into combat zones without an actual declaration of war. See, that's the crazy thing about the Vietnam War. We actually never fully declared war against Vietnam. This was just sending troops to a combat zone, and the president had that unilateral authority to do that. Now think about that. That's a lot of power that one man has. Now I want you to think about our current presidents that we have and our presidents that we're about to have, and do you want a president to have that kind of authority? For example, you think about the Gulf of Tonkin resolution, and you see if you try to use it in modern day practices. Do you want President Biden to send troops to Ukraine as we were getting involved in that situation between Ukraine and Russia? Do you want that? Or do you want President Trump for us to get involved in, saying, going to a combat zone in Mexico and maybe stopping the cartels and doing that as a unilateral action? Those are things that the Gulf of Tonkin resolution gave that kind of power to the president. And so that's what made that resolution such a frightening prospect.